Welcome to this Westworld video. So if you're new to the channel, please do consider leaving a like and subscribe down below if you did enjoy the video. So Westworld was quite a big episode this week as we learn just what is going on with himself, Robert Ford, and he is technically still alive, kind of. So he's alive, his brain and his consciousness has been transferred to the digital realm. So while we had James Delos a couple of weeks ago, we learned that William was trying to make a copy of James Delos so that James Delos could survive, but that did not work, and well, he ended up going crazy every single loop. So what Robert Ford has done has actually put his brain inside the cradle, inside the kind of main part of Westworld, and it seems to me that he has actually downloaded his brain over into Bernard and can take over Bernard whenever he actually wants, like when he killed those security guards in the hall in the hive. So with that in mind, we now know that Delos wanted to clone people. The aim of Westworld, for Delos at least, was to create clones and copies of real people. So the real variable was actually human interaction, and they logged everything that humans ever did, not for blackmail like I originally thought, but this was simply just to clone people. But it turns out that this could never happen. Delos will never be able to work on this, and it will never actually see the light of day. But this is what the backup of Abernathy is for. This is all the data that was held within Westworld. And now Dolores, she is the one who wants to liberate everyone, which is why that cradle was destroyed at the end, well, kind of partway through the episode. I love that bit where the kind of original host said welcome to Westworld, and she blew herself up and blew up all the reboot data that was held on every single one of the hosts, which maybe it means possibly that they are going to have permanent death moving forward. Now, one thing to note is that Bernard, while we know it's a copy of Arnold, he isn't technically, because the fact that he is based on memories, so the brain that was made was actually based on memories. Now, I'm a bit curious to see how much Ford was inside Bernard originally, because we now know that that red kind of ball, it was the brain, was the copy of the brain of Robert Ford. So maybe Robert Ford was always in him to begin with, and with that in mind, well, perhaps these missing memories, or kind of the times where it goes blank and this time jump, well, that's probably where Robert Ford took over. And so we've got three factions technically. So we've got Bernard going to the Valley Beyond, we've got Dolores going to the Valley Beyond, and the humans who will need to go to the Valley Beyond. But this is really weird, and a real downside of the show is the timelines here, which I think is a real problem with the show, because while we now know that in the past the Bernard let Dolores have full control, and she was able to do now whatever she actually wants. So the fact that she can do that is quite big, and Bernard has given her full control. Now, that was never really the aim of Robert Ford, and this story was never really much of what he wanted. But I think that he's starting to think that this is the new trend. So this is going to see the hosts start replacing humanity. They are a brand new species. They are a completely new species that are better than humans, because all the data has shown that they are better than humans so far, albeit, you know, the indiscriminate killing of everyone at the moment. So I think that that's pretty cool. And what is interesting here is that Bernard has already been to the Valley Beyond. So we've got the two timelines, the one in the past and the one in the present, the one where Charlotte is kind of interrogating Bernard and finding out what happened with the Valley Beyond. So we're going to learn what happened there as time goes on, and then we'll see those two timelines still run concurrently. So I still think that maybe we will see Bernard and Dolores at the end of this season escape possibly into the real world, and we will see Dolores's kind of whole plan move out into the real world as she wants to take over everyone. Now, it's a bit weird because she still needs to keep creating hosts, but she's killed everyone who's been creating the hosts. So I'm not too sure what will happen there with her revolution. But this Valley Beyond is incredibly important. Now, the humans seem to think that this is where the backup has arrived for Abernathy. And maybe the Valley Beyond is probably something that is more of a kind of metaphorical and existential sort of thing, a theoretical thing, less than a real place. But that is it for this video. What do you guys think of this? I really did enjoy this episode. It was really, really good. Maiev is now gone, and that was pretty much to show that, well, the storylines in Westworld were also a leash to keep everyone here. So Dolores has now, her biggest weakness was her father. She's, well, you know, somehow got over that quite easily. So these attachments, especially what she did to Teddy as well. So we will see that she has gone full Terminator. So I'll see you soon. Drop a like and a subscribe. I'll see you soon, and goodbye.